9 teams arrived in Palm Springs with their sights set on a PSCL crown. And after 28 days and 88 total games of grueling nonstop baseball, it all comes down to this. The championship match is here, and the marathon has officially become a sprint to the finish line. It's a one-game winner-take-all contest between the number 3 seed North Stars and the Cinderella 7 seed Blue Sox. From historic Palm Springs Stadium in the Coachella Valley, I'm Vince Hesbrick with my good friend Sam Egan. And Sam, the PSCL has had quite the story to tell. It's a privilege to be with you. And we're thankful everybody here is tuned in to see the conclusion of what has been a great season. So many great stories, but the big one has to be Jimmy Johnson's Blue Sox. They took the scientifically toughest possible route to the playoffs, Sam, and yet here they are.
Yeah, I mean, there's Cinderella that was proven last night. And, I mean, the epitome of the PSCL season was maybe yesterday's ballgame, the greatest comeback in PSCL postseason history. They were down 9 heading into the 6th inning with only 5 outs left to play with, and they just exploded in that 6th inning, tying the ballgame with 9 in the 6th and then winning the ballgame with 4 in the 7th.
Jimmy J.J. Johnson has spent over 60 years in the sport of baseball. After that game, he was shaking his head and said, "I still can't believe how much this game surprises me." His squad is going to be batting first, and they are leading with Justice Johnson in center field, Alika Balberti hitting second, Samuel Arredondo hitting third, Isaac Imamura fourth, Michael Saltzer fifth, Ryden Sasaki sixth, Declan Rivero seventh, Damian Quintana eighth, Grayson Hasbrook ninth, and Drew Ashamine is in the 10th spot for the Blue Sox. Now let's take a look at the North Stars. They didn't quite have as tumultuous of a path to get here, but they have proved their worth in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to deal with the cards you're dealt with, and for Blue Sox team, top 3 seeds were eliminated from this postseason, so they're now the top dog in this postseason, and they're looking like they're probably the favorites in this one.
They played the Grizzly in the last game of the regular season. They beat them 15-5, and then they got to play the Grizzly again as soon as the playoffs started. It was considered a potential upset game. The Grizzlies got a hit in the first. They scored a run. They held the North Stars scoreless in the bottom of 1, and then that was the last inning that the Grizzly got a hit. It was the last inning that the North Stars did not score. They ran away with it, won 21-1. Ashton Blair had a complete game, allowing just 1 hit. And then game 2, it was a bit of a pitching duel. It was scoreless going into the top of the 4th against the number 4 seed Chill when Jackson Logston hit a 2-run shot to give his team the lead. Shane Flynn, the Chill catcher, responded. 2-run bomb of his own in the 6th. That was a tie game, and it was Ryder Lambros, a double that he hit, scored Giovanni Pieri, who led off the inning with a walk, and an E4 got Lambros home, and that is why the North Stars are in today's contest. The defense for the North Stars: Cash Sutton, Giovanni Pieri, Ryder Lambros, 7, 8, and 9. Jackson Logston at third, Josh Payton at short, Doran Rivero at second, Dion Cesario Scott at first, Gavin Rodriguez will be the starting catcher. And it will be Chase Ford on the mound for the North Stars. This is one of the best pitching crews in the league, and Ford has been a major reason why.
Yeah, I mean, it's a North Star team that has been utterly dominant this postseason with their pitching staff, and only allowing 3 runs in the 2 games this postseason. Sometimes all you need is a hot pitching staff, and you've seen it so many times at every level where if you just get good pitching, all you need is a few runs. But against a Blue Sox team that looks just utterly rejuvenated and feeding off a last 2 innings where they scored 13 runs, it's going to be probably the toughest test for this North Star teams all season long, and it's going to be a lot of nerves, obviously, with it being the championship game.
Chase Ford on the year, 21 2/3 inning, has 2 wins on the year, a 4.57 ERA, and he's got some dynamite strikeout stuff. 30 strikeouts on the year to just 7 walks. The thing for him is going to be making sure that when he misses, it's missing outside, not inside. He has allowed a few base runners on the year, gotten roughed up a couple of times, but overall, if you're going into a championship game with him, you got to be feeling good if you're the North Stars.
Oh, you got to be feeling great, but on the other side, I think you got to be feeling just as good and confident in your lineup because you have bats that are more than capable of roughing up these hitters, and you have a lot of right-handed power on this team as well, and guys like Michael Salser, Ryden Sasaki, and even Isaac Imamura have all hit homers this season. They're all guys hitting from the right side today, and with no wind being a factor and a lot of heat, the ball's going to be jumping to that.
From historic Palm Springs Stadium. It's the kind of small ball style of play that's been so fun to watch all year, and now we get to see it in the championship. The Blue Sox might have been playing small ball. That doesn't mean they don't have some power as well, and Justice Johnson has showed that. He's at the top of the order, and he's a guy who was struggling throughout most of the year. In his first 12 games, he had only 5 hits, but he has still a 300 hitter on the year thanks to a terrific end to the season. He's reached safely multiple times the last 6 games.
And a pair of walks in yesterday's ball game, a stolen base as well, and a big double that started the rally back in that 6th inning.
The PSCL championship is officially underway. Chase Ford's first pitch is fouled away by Johnson.
And Johnson, Valverde, and Arredondo are the ones for the Blue Sox to get it going. And yes, yesterday's improbable comeback was an incredible display of baseball, but if you're the Blue Sox, you want to get the offense going just a little bit earlier and maybe alleviate the pressure off the team just a little bit.
Ford delivers the 0-1, swing and a miss. Justice Johnson down 0-2. Yeah, it was truly an incredible comeback that the Blue Sox had yesterday. It felt improbable. They had just pulled off a major upset against the number 2 seed Bombers the day prior. They go out and just get ambushed, down 9-0 against the Lumberjacks. The Lumberjacks had not allowed more than 8 runs all year. 0-2 pitch. Outside, Johnson pulls back 1-2. But the Lumberjacks, despite having this dominant pitching core, like I said, had yet to allow 8 runs in a game all year. Blue Sox teed off for 9 runs against them in 1 inning, added 4 the next. 1-2 from Ford. Down low 2-2. Went with the fastball 80 miles an hour.
You know Johnson's going to be a tough cookie to crack here. He's a guy who has walked twice in yesterday's ball game and has a great eye for the plate. That's why he's in the leadoff spot. And you don't want to work around him either because he possesses great speed and can turn a walk into an extra base hit.
2-2. 3-2 now, just off the plate with the slider.
I think it was the right call, but that one just missing the zone. And Johnson getting a chance at life here on a payoff pitch, and we'll see how he responds.
Fouled back, we'll do it again. And you make a good point. The Blue Sox, obviously, they've had some comeback prowess to their name, but you never want to be reliant on magic, especially in a championship game. I mean, that 9-run comeback, I asked Jimmy Johnson yesterday if that was a top 10 craziest game he's seen. He said, man, I can't rank him, but it was definitely up there. Another 3-2 pitch. Inside, but a called strike 3. Chase Ford dots up the inner part of the plate, and Justice Johnson goes down looking to start the game.
And that's a big at-bat right there, because if Johnson's able to take ball forward, that's a 7-pitch at-bat, and he stands on first base. And said 7-pitch strikeout is a little more feasible, and you can get out of the inning with only 15 pitches if you continue to make quick work of the next 2 hitters.
Alika Valverde hitting second for the Blue Sox, listed as the extra hitter. First pitch. Down low for ball 1. And getting guys out quickly is going to be very important for Chase Ford, or regardless of who the pitcher is for either team, because this is a 9-inning game, unlike most of the regular season that was 7 innings. 1-0 pitch skied in the air out to center. Giovanni Pieri will yield to Cash Sutton in left field for the second out.
And I think part of it, too, is, yes, you have a plethora of arms available, and if you looked at the Blue Sox lineup and you asked who's available pitching for them, everybody was listed.
And I think we need to go in depth a little more with that, because we get a lineup card. We've got, the guys who are starting, and then we have a few pitchers that might be available out the pen. And, yeah, you said it. On Jimmy Johnson's card, as Samuel Arredondo takes ball 1, for pitchers available, he literally just wrote the word everybody. So he's going to get to 9 innings, whether he wants to or not. He's got to stretch everybody out. He does have some help, though, from some other teams. 1-0 to Sam inside. He's ahead 2-0.
But the important thing is you want to give your starter as much longevity as possible, because you saw with the Lumberjacks yesterday, they had 5 innings from their starter, and it seemed like that was all they needed, and they turned it over to the bullpen, and the bullpen gave up 13 runs in 2 innings.
Bouncer to short. Peyton across. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the North Stars in the top of 1. Now we'll see if their offense can do some damage in the bottom of 1. But first, I wanted to take a second to just talk about how improbable this run is for the Blue Sox, because what they've done over the past 2 days is simply incredible. So I want to take you back to the last game of the regular season, because the Blue Sox, they had just lost 5 of their last 6 games. I mean, they were 5-12 overall. There's a whole litany of heartbreaking regular season losses, and they went against the Bombers for the last game of the regular season. The Bombers were in the midst of an 11-game win streak and looked dominant. Something just kind of snapped for the Blue Sox. They scored 12 runs in the first inning, and they won it 14-12 overall in a crazy game, and that was a really chippy game between the Bombers and the Blue Sox. Those teams, a lot of competition between them. And a lot of the talk after the game from the Bombers was saying, look, that was our backups. We're going to have our starters, and we're going to kick your butts come the playoffs. And funny enough, we didn't have to wait too long, because the title of chippiest game lasted about 24 hours since the Blue Sox played the Bombers again the very next day, and it was competitive chaos. There were multiple Bombers who got ejected, including their starting pitcher, Ryden Sasaki for the Blue Sox, hit a grand slam. Bombers led 11-1, proved the previous game was no fluke, and pulled off the upset 11-6. And now, what the issue for the Blue Sox is that they did not get a pitcher from the Bombers. The rule in the PSCL playoffs is that if you beat a team, you get to gain somebody from that team, because a lot of these guys, I mean, not only are we have 3 playoff games in 3 days, we also had the PSCL All-Star game the day before. So 4 straight days for some of the league's best. And the Blue Sox did not get a Bombers pitcher. They did get a Lumberjacks pitcher. This is Carlos Guzman on the hill for the Blue Sox, opening things up to Josh Payton. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Kind of a weird spot for Guzman here, you'd have to say, Sam. He was just facing the Blue Sox yesterday, available out the pen depending on how long the game went. And the bunt is pulled back, 1-1. And you got to think he was gearing up to pitch the championship game for his number 1 seed Lumberjacks. The good news is he's still pitching in the championship game, but it's probably not for the team he expected.
It's how the sport works sometimes, and the important thing is you just got to have a short memory, a quick turnaround, and understand that you're on the mound for the championship game, and the end goal for all these guys is to improve, to develop, and hopefully win a championship. And Guzman, while you said not for the team he thought it would be, a chance nevertheless to be a champion.
1-2 pitch on the ground to short. Damian Quintana, the shortstop for the Blue Sox, gets the first out of the game. That was Josh Payton, the shortstop for the North Stars, who was leading things off. Gavin Rodriguez, the catcher, is hitting second. Deion Cesario-Scott third. Cash Sutton in cleanup. Jackson Logsdon hitting fifth. Giovanni Pieri sixth. Misael Ruan Leyva, the designated hitter, hitting seventh. Ryder Lombros eighth. Doran Rivero is hitting ninth to round out the North Stars order. In the defense for the Blue Sox, Grayson Hasbrook, Justice Johnson, and Drew Ashamayan are the 3 outfielders. Rodriguez ready for the first pitch from Guzman, and it gets the outside for a called strike. In the infield for the Blue Sox, Isaac Imamura at third. Damian Quintana, who just made the putout for the first out, is at short. Michael Saltzer's at second. Samuel Arredondo is at first. As Gavin, did he check his swing? Sure did. 1-1. Ryden Sasaki is playing catcher for the Blue Sox today.
Sasaki's been unbelievably clutch for this Blue Sox team all postseason long. You mentioned this Blue Sox team has had a couple of memorable games in this postseason. Obviously, the one yesterday is the one that's looming large that got him here today, but that quarterfinal game where Jace McGowan, the Bombers starter, getting ejected in the second inning, that changed the entire complexity of the postseason for the Bombers and just the entire bracket as a whole.
Rodriguez fouls back 86 down the middle, 2-2.
And you mentioned Blue Sox not taking anybody from the Bombers. It's kind of been an ever-brewing steam of bad blood between the two.
2-2 pitch in there for called strike 3. Gavin Rodriguez, the big bat, hitting second. The North Stars order goes down, and now here's the biggest player in the PSCL, Deion Cesario-Scott at 6'5". It goes without saying that he's got some power, but he also has some of the best discipline in the league as well. 5.71 on base percentage, 6th in the league. Deion takes 88 down and away in the strike zone.
I think what might be crazy, or the craziest fact that I found out about Cesario Scott is he's not even the tallest member of his family. His older brother played college football, is 6'7".
Dion down 0-2. Brother's a tight end at Colorado State University Pueblo. And Dion, an Alabama A&M recruit, obviously in baseball. 0-2 pitch. Close, but the at-bat keeps going. And we are seeing some serious heat from Carlos Guzman. He hasn't pitched too much on the year, only 14 1/3 innings for the Lumberjacks. Well, they just had so much pitching depth before their elimination. 2-2, that was the slider.
And not often that you see a complete inning go 1-2-3, and Guzman one pitch away from completing that. And it's a really tough bat, but I think you got to go on the outer half and try and win the AB here.
Swing and a miss. It's a 1-2-3 start for Carlos Guzman. I guess his allegiances are fully with the Blue Sox. Nobody has a hit. Nobody's gotten aboard. The Blue Sox are going to have Isaac Imamura lead things off in the top of the second. It's the top of the second here in historic Palm Springs Stadium, the Power Summer Collegiate League Championship game between the Blue Sox and the North Stars. Vince Hesbrick with Sam Egan. Glad you're with us for the conclusion of what has been a really fun season. Isaac Imamura leading things off for the Cinderella Blue Sox. Came in as the 7th seed. A strike at the bottom of the zone from Chase Ford.
It's part of a busy day here at Palm Springs Stadium with the Power also having a home game tonight, so plenty of action and plenty of high-stakes action.
0-1 roped into left field for a base hit. Isaac Imamura gets the first hit of the game for either team. This Blue Sox squad, 3rd in the league in OPS, 2nd in total RBIs. Michael Saltzer hitting 5th, trying to keep the beat going.
All season long for the Blue Sox, they put in runs in bunches, as you've just noted. Pitching has been a little bit lackluster for this team this year, but one dominant performance in the championship game can make it all be forgotten.
Saltzer takes a nice pitch on the inside for a called strike. 62 with the slider, breaks in there. Imamura, 20 RBIs, tied with Samuel Arredondo for the most on the team. 0-1 from Ford. Off the plate, 1-1.
Couldn't quite clip it, but pitcher doesn't know, or hitter doesn't know where exactly to look.
On the ground to second. Rivero rounds into double play. Raiden Sasaki coming up. 2 outs, nobody on.
And Sasaki, who's been swinging an unbelievable bat. You mentioned the grand slam back in the quarterfinal. That
Slider, and TrackMan tells us that did clip the bottom of the zone.
He's been working on the black, which is exactly where you want to work if you're...
Johnson, the skipper for the Blue Sox. Let's talk a little bit about Zach had 2 hits yesterday. That got his average above 300 for the first time all year.
So stolen base and RBI in yesterday's ball game. So he's been swinging a really solid bat, and no better time than now to be swinging a good bat than the tail end of your season.
Off the plate with the curveball. And you talk about rising to the moment. That was Hasbrook's first multi-hit game of the year. 2-1. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know how much I should talk about that game with Sam in a minute here when he comes on. Skied foul. It will leave the yard. Count even at 2 apiece.
It's like that that meme of the elephant in a room, and it says "Address me." Stadium Pulse through a max right now.
He's up here. we thought he'd be down there, but here he is. 2-2 to Hasbrook. Fly ball, shallow right. Cesario Scott for out number 2. Blue Sox have had 2 hits on the day. Isaac Imamura led off the second, but Michael Sulzer immediately grounded into a double play. And that meant that when Ryden Sasaki got another base hit, there were 2 outs, no men on, and he was left stranded. Drew Asheman at the bottom of the order. He's been catcher at times this year. He's really played just about everywhere. Right fielder in the championship. Swing and a foul, 0-1.
Coming up with a big opportunity to get a 2-out rally going. It's a lineup that is, for the most part, been befuddled by Chase Ford. A lot of ground balls, a lot of weak contact, though.
0-2. Justice Johnson, the leadoff hitter, is on deck. Ford trying to cap off another clean inning.
Well, the North Stars thought it was strike 3, but not to be.
Few steps off the plate for Gavin Rodriguez, the talented catcher for the North Stars, but he's got to come on back. Asheman still in a 1-2 hole. Did he go? They will say he did. Throw down to first, and it's another clean inning for Chase Ford. It's the Bootleggers draft pick Doran Rivero leading off the inning for the North Stars in the bottom of 3. They lead 1-0 thanks to an inside-the-park home run from Jackson Logsdon. Carlos Guzman still on the hill for the Blue Sox. First pitch to Rivero in there for a strike. It's been a good showing for Guzman, all things considered. The Logsdon home run, no errors attached to it. Lined into right field foul. But it was also a play in center field that Justice Johnson, the center fielder for the Blue Sox, probably should have had. He was dancing around underneath it. He was at the wall, didn't look too comfortable, and then it dropped in front of him, and it really took an awkward bounce. Swing and a miss. Carlos Guzman gets his 6th strikeout of the day, already a new PSCL season high.
So Guzman has been dealing, has yet to get any run support yet, but this is what you love in a championship game, a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Both guys going toe-to-toe here.
Josh Payton, the shortstop for the North Stars, grounded out to short to start this game. He had 2 hits and a stolen base against the Chill yesterday. Takes the first pitch for a strike. From the University of Chicago, just got his master's degree in business. Really a remarkable guy. Since 2015, he's been part of the Monterey Athletes That Care Association. Slow roller, will it go fair? It will not. 0-2. And the Monterey Athletes That Care Association basically helps the homeless in the local community. And since 2015, Payton has been making sandwiches, giving shower packs, helping throughout the COVID pandemic back in 2020, basically helping all around the homeless community. Even appeared at a Super Bowl party.
That is awesome stuff from Payton. And see a lot of great stuff out of the University of Chicago, one of the, I don't want to say smartest, but for lack of a better term, the smartest schools in all of the country.
1-2 pitch. Up the middle for a base hit. Oh, back to first. They almost got him. Wow, on the backhand, Michael Saltzer almost made that a heck of a highlight. But Payton stayed consistent, kept running, and he's aboard. His first hit of the day. Wow, I thought that was just an automatic he's aboard, but Michael Saltzer came flying in.
I was writing single on my score sheet.
Me too.
I looked up and I see the throw coming. I'm like, whoa. But yeah, to put a bow on Payton, coming from a prestigious university. And fun fact enough, the University of Chicago had the first ever Heisman Trophy winner.
Who was it?
Jay Bertwanger.
Do you know what year that was? First pitch to Rodriguez or ball?
1920s. And the only reason I know this is because his son was friends with my grandmother. So they taught together, and I got to actually see the first ever Heisman Trophy.
Runner on the move, swinging a foul, and Payton will have to retreat. What'd you say, Bertwanger?
Bertwanger.
That is the ultimate 1920s last name. And the University of Chicago gives the ball to Bertwanger up the middle for 2 yards.
The halfback, of course.
Yep. You got like 12 guys in the backfield, or I guess 8.
And that was back when they were in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But now disbanded football programs, so as a result, they're like, hey, dude, if you want your trophy back, you can have your personal trophy back. So he got to keep his trophy, and he didn't really know what to do with it. So, like, at times he'd use it as a doorstop or just, maybe didn't treat it as prize of a possession as the first ever Heisman Trophy maybe should have been. But an incredible accomplishment nevertheless. And
Gavin Rodriguez, second on this team in OPS 936. 2-1 pitch. Outside's a hitter's count for Gavin. He's a catcher, but also a perfect 5-0 on stolen bags, also listed as an outfielder. Has hits in 8 of his last 9 games. We'll see if he swings big with a man on. Grounded fair, ripped down the left field line. Josh Payton chugging his way for third. They're going to send him home. The throw will be late, and Payton will score. It's a 2-0 game. Gavin Rodriguez, a 1-out double to extend the lead.
Clutch piece of hitting from the top of the lineup, and blazing speed from Payton going first to home on that. Back-to-back base knocks, and Guzman getting really touched up for the first time all day. Yes, you had the inside the park homer, but that one could have been a flyout. Nevertheless, you need to respond if you're Guzman on the mound. You've been getting a lot of strikeouts, so a strikeout here could go a long way and keep the damage only at 1 in this inning, getting your offense right back up there.
Gavin Rodriguez as a catcher gets a courtesy runner. First pitch to Cesario Scott, low for a ball. It's number 26, Connor Grimes, who's a pitcher for the North Stars. Well, if you've got the speed and you can run the bases, you're going to see some opportunities in the PSCL on the base paths. Dion's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Big high drive out to deep right field, but coming in is Ashamine, who will make the play for out number 2.
Got just under that one. Cesario Scott, a guy with big-time pop. So look for a second that he got a mistake pitch that he could drive, and fortunately for him, just missed it.
Still a runner in scorer's position. It's Gavin Rodriguez. Cash Sutton, the cleanup hitter, up. Sutton just finished his senior year at La Quinta High School. And we've seen a lot of dominant two-game stretches across the PSCL, but Sutton might have the best. First pitch, swing and a miss. So you got to remember that the North Stars played the Grizzly in the last game of the regular season, and then they played him again the first round. Across those two games, Sutton 6 for 7, 2 homers, 5 runs, 11 RBIs. And he's down 0-2 to Guzman. He did come up empty 0 for 3 against the Chill, but to say he's done his job in the playoffs is an understatement. Guzman delivers. Got him. Sutton goes down, but another run for the North Stars. 2-0 the score. Blue Sox offense will get to work in the top of 4. You ready, Steven? Ready. It's the PSCL championship game between the 3-seed North Stars and the 7-seed Blue Sox. I'm Vince Hesbrick, and I got a special guest with me. He's the director of baseball operations for the PSCL, but most people know him as the manager for the Power. It's Casey Dill. Thanks for being with me.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Now, I'm going to give you the tip. Can you move the microphone a little bit up closer?
There we go. Is that better?
Perfect. It's a 2-0 game, top of the order coming up for the Blue Sox. So just talk to me about what you're seeing so far in this game, Skip.
It's a well-played baseball game. Both pitchers are pounding the strike zone. Both teams are making the plays on defense. And it's a well-played game by both sides. I know when both of these teams run their best 9 guys out there that they can be very competitive. So this looks like a very competitive, 2 solid college baseball teams going at it.
And Justice Johnson is uncommitted, but whatever team gets him is going to be lucky to have him. 13 stolen bases on the year, 1 caught stealing.
Yeah, no, he's a really, really special talent. I mean, you just look at him. He's a physical presence. He kind of has all the athletic ability, you could ask for in a player. And he's come a long way here in the PSCL. I think he's gotten better over the course of the season. And yeah, the fact that he's kind of still uncommitted at this point of the summer, someone's going to be getting a very special player.
And right on cue, a drive into the gap in right field. Justice Johnson gets aboard to lead off the inning, and Johnson stays hot. And you talk about the development, Skip. He had 5 hits his first 12 games, but now he's a 300 hitter, 4th in the league in stolen bases, has reached safely multiple times the last 6 games. Kind of speaks to the development ability in this league.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Jim Johnson, the manager of the Blue Sox. He was a major league hitting coach. He was a major league hitting coach, and he was a hitting coordinator in the minor leagues for a lot of years, over 20 years. He's also been a hitting coach internationally for MLB China. So you're literally talking about one of the best hitting coaches in anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
Managing the Blue Sox. So I always try to load the Blue Sox up with guys that have all the tools, but maybe they need a little bit of development because Jim Johnson, especially with the hitters, is about as good of a hitting coach you're going to find anywhere in America.
Valverde down 0-2. JJ has a World Series ring with his time with the Yankees, also an NL ring for his time with the Rockies.
Yeah, no, I mean, and he's great for the young coaches here too. Myself included. He gave me a couple years ago what he developed as the 2-strike approach. When he was with the Colorado Rockies, they were having a problem kind of striking out too much, and he was the man tasked with resolving that problem. So he actually handwritten, and it's typed up now, but wrote out what the two-strike approach will be and significantly cut down the amount that Colorado Rockies hitters were striking out. So he's just an awesome guy to have around, not only for the players, but for coaches too. He's got a wealth of knowledge that everybody can benefit from.
0-2 pitch inside on Balberti. And I want to talk about the other skipper as well, Zach Novus. I mean, the age differential between the two, I did the math. It's older than you.
It is, which is I think that's awesome. I actually love that. And I mean, Zach Novus is a local legend. He's won. He was a pitcher with the Palm Springs Power for 2 years in 2017, 2018. He was a part of the 2017 championship team. He also had, here's a cool stat for you, a perfect ERA in 2017. I think in about 15 innings of work, we had a pitcher from University of Utah named Jacob Rebar, and he was 6'5", had long hair, 250 pounds, throws the ball 93 miles an hour with movement. And I would always bring in Zach after Jacob Rebar. Zach was, mid-high 70s with a great curveball, and he pounded the strike zone at the bottom of the zone. So I'm not taking full credit for Zach's perfect ERA, but I will say I strategically put him in a very good place to be successful, and he did it though, and then he's won a PSCL championship as a manager. So you're talking about, he's a guy that's won a championship with the Power as a player, and he's won a championship in the PSCL as a manager. He's also played at College of the Desert, and he's the head coach, of the California Grizzlies, which operate out of this area as well. So, yeah, Zach Novus, local baseball legend.
It's ball four to Alika Balberti. He gets aboard, 2 men on, nobody out for big Samuel Arredondo.
Yeah, Arredondo, one of the best hitters on the Blue Sox. I mean, their lineup today, they're running out their best guys. They're all good, but Samuel Arredondo, really impressive at the plate. Had a really nice double in the All-Star game, and he's a real presence at the plate.
Slugging .698 on the year, gets aboard at a .472 clip. Leads his team in doubles, triples, homers, hits, and RBIs.
There you go.
And first pitch, high in the air, out to deep right field, and it is down and off the wall. Justice Johnson coming around. He will score. Balberti will score. Arredondo to third. He's safe, and the game is tied.
There you go. It's like we know what we're talking about up here. No, Arredondo's been doing that all summer. He had a great freshman season with LA Harbor. He hit over 300, had 6 home runs, so we expected him to be one of the better bats, coming into the PSCL this summer, and he's absolutely lived up to that.
Of the 1,378 hits across the league this season, 334 have been for extra bases. That's around 25%. It's a wood bat league, of course. But Arredondo, over half of his hits have been for extra bases. 25 coming in, 12 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. I guess make it 3 triples now with that one.
Yeah, and he uses the whole ballpark. You see a lot of his extra base hits to right center, and he's also capable of pulling the ball, but he's the guy that's capable of hitting for power to all parts of the ballpark. And
it's a wood bat league, so just talk about that adjustment for a lot of these guys coming in here. It's definitely a new style of play. It's been fun to watch.
Hitting with wood is a lot harder than hitting with metal. I'll say that. And it is an adjustment for these guys. It really makes you focus on finding the sweet spot of the bat. You don't get away with ones on the end of the bat. You don't get away with ones in on your hands. Those break bats, So you get away with a lot more with a metal bat than you do with wood. So it really teaches these guys, like, I have to find the barrel. I have to find the barrel of this bat with and hit the baseball with the barrel. And it's a great way for these guys just to advance their hitting.
1-1 pitch inside on Isaac Imamura. He's found the barrel a lot of times this year. 20 RBIs, was tied with Samuel Arredondo for most on the team before that 2 RBI triple from Sam.
Yeah, he's a guy that has actually spent some time with the Palm Springs Power as well. There are times, where I kind of use the PSCL as a minor league system for the Power at night. And early on in the season, it was easy to see that Isaac was a very good player, not only defensively, but he hit a home run off the scoreboard earlier in this season too. So he's a guy that very good middle infielder, can play short and second base, but also, hits for power.
You mentioned that homer, 5'5". He drilled that sucker. He's in a 2-2 count against Chase Ford. High fly ball out to deep left field. Did he do it again at the track? And it will go down as a sacrifice fly for Isaac Imamura. Some of the pains of playing in Palm Springs Stadium, such an incredible historic ballpark, but man, that left and right field, that is deep.
Yeah, this is a huge ballpark. It's not easy to hit anything out of this ballpark. The wind typically blows in from left field too. Not much of a breeze this morning, but if you're a right-handed hitter, this is a very hard ballpark to hit home runs at.
You'd have to say that only adds to the discipline the players create as the season goes along. Blue Sox lead 3-2. First pitch to Michael Saltzer in there for a strike.
Yeah, pitchers also learn too, like, hey, I can pitch inside here. Like, I'm not worried about giving up a whole lot of home runs on the stadium now. The turf field's a lot different. That's a smaller, much smaller ballpark. Ball carries to the left field there.
And there's a shallow fly ball. Doran Rivero gets the second out of the inning.
Yeah, so not only are the hitters making adjustments based on the ballpark, but the pitchers are making adjustments and pitching to the advantages of the ballpark as well.
You know, what's so fun about the big ballparks is that when the home runs do happen, they are extra special. Ryan Sasaki had a grand slam against the Bombers in round one.
Yeah, there are no cheap home runs at Palm Springs Stadium. It's a pitcher's ballpark in every way. If you got a good defense here, and your pitcher's throwing a lot of good strikes, that's kind of the formula of winning here.
Sasaki loops it in the air. Deion Cesario-Scott gets the out. And that will end the inning. Skip, thank you so much for being with me here. This was a blast, man.
Yeah, my pleasure.
And I know you're going to be back on with Sam later on doing an inning all by yourselves. I'm excited to see how that one goes.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can do your guys' job. We're very confident, but we'll see how it goes. It's Carlos Guzman on the hill for the Blue Sox in the PSCL championship game. His squad leads 3-2 after a 3-run inning. North Stars coming up in the bottom of 3. Jackson Logston had inside the park home run. So Guzman's pitching for the Blue Sox. He spent most of the year with the Lumberjacks. Their skipper, Sam DiMatteo, is with me now. What are you seeing from Carlos so far? Oh, there's a high fly ball out to center field. Justice Johnson has it for out number 1.
No, Carlos, first of all, thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.
But no, Carlos had a phenomenal summer. Made the All-Star team. He did really well on both ends. I believe he hit around 400 and either 3-0, 4-0, something or other like that. And he did really well off the mound as an incoming freshman at our College of the Desert. So this was a good test for him, seeing some putting him in a college atmosphere, facing some college competition, and seeing kind of how he makes the transition. And he did really well, really good kid as well. So we're super excited to have him part of the program. But good summer for Carlos.
Ripped high in the air out to left field. It will hang up for Cash Sutton. And Giovanni Pieri flies out. Misael Ruan-Leba coming up. So obviously it's up to the coaches to kind of bring in some guys to their squad in the PSCL. And you consistently get some of the best talent. I mean, your Lumberjack squad was stacked come in. You have a lot of personal connections with your guys.
Yeah, a lot of my team is actually made up of my college players that I've had that are going to be leaving me, my sophomores that are heading out. I try to really go heavy with those guys, and there'll always be a few guys, from out of the state or farther out.
Yep.
We always get a random guy or two, and then some incoming freshmen. We'll have a few of those part of my roster as well coming into the college, and then some returners throughout the league. A lot of them will, reach out, and if it's someone I want to bring on, I'll take them as well. So.
Leyba up the middle for a base hit, 2-out base runner for the North Stars. Ryder Lombros coming up.
But yeah, most of my team each year I know everybody pretty well, but yeah, early exit for us this year. The Blue Sox, what an awesome comeback they made on us yesterday. I believe we were up 9-0, and you can't take anything away from them. They deserve to be here, and they really surprised us with their hitting and the pitching, and put up a heck of a fight in those last 2 innings. They definitely deserve to be here.
First pitch outside to Ryder Lombros. It gets away. Raul Leyba will head to second. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to talk about that game or not.
Too
yet.
Sensitive yet?
Well, in the first,
definitely well deserved. I'm fine with it.
It was simply stunning, and JJ told me that yesterday. I mean, you outscored him 40-6 in the first 2 games of regular season. Just what kind of switch was flipped? Because I was talking with Luke, our TrackMan guy, and he said the pitches your guys were throwing still had their usual sauce to them. Is it just kind of that's baseball sometimes?
Yeah. To be honest, the number one thing is their team just stayed very upbeat, and I know Damien at shortstop, and I could hear him over there with the guys, and very much playing a leadership role over there, and everybody's energy stayed up, and they kind of just started piecing stuff together. And
ground ball to short. It's going to be a tough play. Throwing back to first, it bounces in, and it will be a base hit. Runners at the corners, 2 outs for Doran Rivera.
But yeah, to their credit, they stayed tight as a team, and it was just a little bit at a time. And in the PSCL, you've seen it time and time again that, no lead is safe sometimes within what we're doing here. And my pitchers are very good. I had a very good pitching staff. I trusted all of them.
Had a 3.5 ERA. No other team had less than 6.5. I mean, you were pitching circles around guys.
I mean, I don't remember any errors. I remember a lot of doubles and well-hit balls. And,
yep.
It wasn't a cheap way to get that win. They were hitting everybody. I think I pulled in 4 pitchers in the last. I was kind of emptying the tank.
Yeah.
Because there's no tomorrow in those games, and they handled everybody.
Rivero straight up the middle, and it's a clean inning for Carlos Guzman. I want to keep you here for a little bit longer, Skip, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to give you a stat about JJ, because when you talk about how he's been in the league a long time, I got a fun way to measure it. When he signed his first pro contract with the Astros, man had not yet been on the moon. He's been in the game for a while. And there was a fun moment with you yesterday where, when the Blue Sox played the Bombers, there's obviously a lot of competition with those squads. But after the game, one of the first things you did is you went over to JJ and kind of strategically walked through what guys are available for you. It's clear that you share some camaraderie with him, and there's a really fun dynamic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Overall, and the coaches have been great, and JJ's phenomenal, and what an awesome brain that we have, from a baseball standpoint, that we can pick that brain on a daily basis. And whether you're a player or a coach, having someone like that in and around the stadium daily is phenomenal for all of us. And yeah, we want, within what we do here in the PSCL and it being developmental heavy, it's we want to win. That part is great. But we also want to help each other out, help these players out, help them develop, and help everybody, enjoy the experience here as well. And that's how it goes is when you get knocked out, a team picks up a pitcher, and it's let's keep things moving. So, and I had a really good one that was, he would have threw today if we were in, or if somebody else had been. Guzman was the guy. So he got a good one out there to get things started for them.
Awesome stuff, Skip. So you're going to announce this inning with Casey, right?
Case.
You want to come on, Skip?
Go down this road.
All right, let's see. All right, we got Declan Rivero at the plate. Declan Rivero also closed the game yesterday as a pitcher. And Sam, Declan's actually a guy that recently committed to College of the Desert. Yeah.
Yeah. Super excited to have Declan coming in. Definitely a legit two-way guy. So as the fall goes, we'll see, what direction Declan goes. But phenomenal athlete. Going to be really fun to work with him. And he shut the door on us yesterday in a very, very high-pressure situation and moved the Blue Sox on to the next round. And Declan had a good summer. We're excited to have him coming in.
Yeah, he was interesting. I had TrackMan up while he was throwing just to see what, how hard he was throwing and see some of his other metrics. He had a 2,400 spin rate on his fastball, which is close to like a major league fastball. He's a lot of spin and natural cut. So he going to be interesting to see how he plays out for us at College of the Desert.
So we got a strikeout there. Declan goes down swinging. I believe that's the first out of the inning.
We got another College of the Desert guy coming up here, Damian Quintana. Damian actually started his college career playing for California Postgrad, and we were able to recruit him to College of the Desert out of California Postgrad. He redshirted. No, he didn't redshirt. What do you got on DQ, Sam? I know he played a little bit last year, and we're expecting him to have a bigger role this year.
Yeah, for sure. One thing with DQ, I was just going over this about 5 minutes ago, was when they were down yesterday, DQ very much took on a leadership role. And just because I know him, I'm kind of keeping my eyes on him, but very talkative in the infield, very talkative on the bench, talking to all his players, keeping everybody up. And, that's important to me, especially being his head coach and how we want them to act on the field, off the field. DQ is a phenomenal human being. Outside of baseball.
Yeah, and over the course of this PSCL, I feel like his defense has come a long way. He's playing shortstop in a championship game here and making some nice plays. So he's a good example of the PSCL being a development-focused league, and DQ really taking advantage of it.
Yep, yeah. DQ's still on his way up. Young player with a lot of talent, and excited to have him back. Got 2 outs now. Who do we got coming up?
We got Grayson Hasbrock of Valley View High School, and he's a recent high school graduate. And JJ really high on Hasbrock, a lot of talent, a lot of athletic ability, really good arm, from the outfield. Obviously has a lot of confidence in him, and if he has him in this championship game. But I believe Holbrook's a guy that you actually recruited to come play in the PSCL, Sam, and you were pretty high on his ability as well.
Yeah, I know JJ told me what really stands out with him is his defense and his arm and the accuracy of his arm and what he brings to the table in center field. So I know defensively, very, very elite defender from what JJ's been talking to me about. And then his high school coach and the coaches I've spoke to, getting him into the PSCL, they all said very similar stuff, and a good character kid as well. So another good one, another good addition here with the Blue Sox.
Pitch outside for ball 3-1 count with 2 outs. Fun fact about the pitcher, Chase Ford, he played for Chance Sharp this last year. Chance Sharp was a guy that managed in the PSCL a lot of years ago. Also was an assistant coach with the Power. It's always fun to get players from old friends. And so Chase Ford was a Highland Community College guy. And actually, Chance Sharp got the head coaching job at St. Louis Community College this next year.
Yeah, Chance was a good one. Glad to see him doing well and success coming his way. Miss you, Chance.
Definitely taught him everything he knows.
That's for sure.
And ball 4 to Holbrook. That's a base runner with 2 outs. And we're going to be Drew Ashamine coming to the plate, a true utility guy. And Sam, I believe you told me he's another guy that recently committed to College of the Desert.
Yep, yeah, really happy to have Drew coming on board. I kind of explained Drew like a little Swiss Army knife. Has all the tools, catches, plays outfield. You can kind of move him around a little bit. Good hitter, good contact hitter, and also awesome kid and human being, speaking to his coaches, and coaches have had him previously, and the coaches that have had him here. Nothing but good things to say.
Yeah, I know Brandon McCoa, a guy that pitched for College of the Desert last year. He's from Hawaii, and he kind of told us about Drew in the springtime, and I know it was really important for you before you recruited him at COD. Like, you want to see him in the PSCL. You want to see him play every day. You want to get to know his character. What kind of platform does the PSCL provide to you when you're interested in recruiting a player?
Yeah, this summer league is incredible. Not only for me, but any of the coaches here or coaches outside of here with the live stream games and the All-Star games and the uncommitted games. But what a phenomenal platform for these players that come in that are uncommitted and need to have some eyes on them, because we're out here all month. We're almost playing every day. You could call it a summer league, but it's almost like a showcase as well for a lot of these guys that are looking for a new place or to be seen. And man, is it plays out well for us and a lot of coaches that are here that are able to see these guys play in person.
Absolutely. Chase Ford gets the third out of the inning, ground ball to the second baseman. And I don't know, Sam, I think that you and I both have a future after coaching and managing.
Yeah, I think you guys can just hang out. We'll take it from here. And no, we're just kidding. We're gonna let the pros back on.
Yeah,
we're gonna let the pros back in. But thank you guys. For the parents listening, thank you guys for trusting us with your players and sending them out here and letting us do our thing with them out here. It's always a blast for the coaches and the players, and beautiful Palm Springs out here, and getting to show up to a baseball field every day. And we'll call this work, but for most of us, this is not work.
If you're going to have work, this is the kind of work you want, and it is an absolute pleasure to get to know new guys every year and get to have a lot of the same guys come back every year. So, yeah, parents, if you're listening, thank you again for trusting us with your sons. Hope you want to send them back out next year. And also, congratulations on having them play in the championship game. They're getting 3 extra games, by getting to play in this game. And it's a great honor to be a part of the PSCL championship. So, again, parents, thank you very much, and we hope you guys are enjoying the experience as well.
Yep. Best of luck down the road. Thank you, guys.
Vince Hesberg back with you here from Palm Springs. Yep, sorry about the announcer downgrade here. It is Doran Rivero set to lead things off for the North Stars. At the bottom of the order, top of the order is looming. Josh Payton on deck. First pitch from Guzman, swing and a miss. Hey, I got a correction already. I told you it was a downgrade. Josh Payton actually is the leadoff hitter for the North Stars, so it's 1-2-3 for him. Payton 1 for 2 on the day, scored a run, down 0-2 to Carlos Guzman, out for another inning of work. And we've talked about how fun this run has been for the Blue Sox. So many upsets in a row to get them to this point. 0-2 pitch, way high and outside. But you got to remember that the Bombers was the big rivalry, and the Blue Sox beat them, and then you kind of go into the next game against the Lumberjacks. You're down 9-0. Blooped in the air, out to right field, falling fast, but a sliding play by Ashamine. Sam's going to love having him on their squad in the College of the Desert. Vince Hesbrick with Sam Egan here. Alika Balberti now up. But you talk about how the Blue Sox down 9 runs against the Lumberjacks going into the 6th inning. And it's so clear that those players could have just said, look, you know what? We beat our rival. We got a big upset win. This was a great season. Let's head home. First pitch to Cesario. Scott popped a mile in the air. Sasaki will watch it hit the seats. But the fact that they kept fighting and decided, no, we want, as long as we've got outs left, we want to keep on battling. It just kind of speaks to not just the competitiveness, but also how much fun these players are having as well. Swing and a miss.
And for Galvez on the mound, he's really starting to find a groove. There was back-to-back innings where he gave up a run, and you started to think, uh-oh, is this where maybe they start to hit him around a little bit and we start to really see the longevity of this Blue Sox bullpen? But He's really settled in, and he seems like he can give his team at least a few more innings here.
84 on the outside from Carlos Guzman. Did you enjoy your break, Sam?
I did. I thought they were going the full inning.
1-2 slap foul over our heads. Rodriguez has a double and an RBI. That was in the third inning. That gave the North Stars a 2-3 lead, but the Blue Sox put up a 3 spot in the top of 4. Now here we are in the bottom of 5. Rodriguez takes a called strike 3. Oof. That was low and away, to say the least, but Guzman gets the call, and he keeps adding to his new season high strikeout total.
It's a nice frame, but it's also credit to a guy who's been so good at finding the strike zone all day that everything's been close. Even his misses have been pretty close, and although, yes, that one probably should have been a ball the way Galvis has been dealing.
Swing and a miss from Cesario Scott.
He won't be denied.
Cesario Scott 0 for 2 on the day, strikeout in the first, fly out in the third. 5.71 on base percentage, down 0-2. And it almost makes it extra impressive how disciplined he is, because when you're that tall, usually you get an unfortunate strike zone. You get a lot of low strikes called on you just because the umps aren't used to seeing the game from that perspective. But whether it be because the ump crew has had his back or he has great discipline or both, Cesario Scott has gotten aboard at a great clip. Trying to do it again. 0-2 pitch bounces in 78 with the slider.
It's a bigger strike zone for him, but also the bigger stature. I think it also is an intimidation factor for pitchers on the mound. They see a guy like that, and they're almost kind of scared to attack him because one mistake gets taken a long way, and if they do that, it's a tie ball game.
1-2, high fly ball out to right field. Justice Johnson coming in on it. There's 3 Blue Sox in the area, but it'll be Quintana, the shortstop, who ultimately makes the out that ends the inning. So another clean inning for Carlos Guzman. The new addition to the Blue Sox has came in and shoved. We've got 3 innings left in the PSCL season. Stick. Ready, Steven? It's the top of the order for the 7-seed Blue Sox. Justice Johnson ready to see his third at-bat of the day here in the top of the 6th. The 7-seed Blue Sox lead 3-2 over the 3-seed North Stars. It's been a Cinderella run for this Blue Sox squad. They were down 2 runs as they got set for the top of 4, but like the Blue Sox have done all postseason long, they rallied together a crooked number on the scoreboard, scored 3 runs in the 4th, and it was this part of the lineup that did the damage. Justice Johnson led off the 4th with a base hit. Valverde walked. Samuel Arredondo hit a triple, and that was 2 runs. Sac fly made it 3-2, and that gave the Blue Sox their first lead of the game.
It's the team that, after seeing their offensive production when I'm in the booth versus when Casey Dill's in the booth, if the trend continues, they may want Casey for the home stretch, but nevertheless,
Johnson comes up empty, 80 miles an hour, dotted up the bottom of the zone.
It's a team that has been really streaky offensively where they put runs up in bunches. And hoping for another crooked number here.
We spoke to the development of Justice Johnson throughout the course of this season, particularly the end of the season. JJ, one of the best in the biz. Great take. Ooh, slider very close to getting the outside part of the plate. But it speaks to the experience of JJ, the skipper for the Blue Sox, 60 years working in professional baseball, that even when his team was losing games and having frustrating losses, he still kept a smile on his face. Another base hit for Justice Johnson, his second of the day. And here come the Blue Sox with the lead, hoping to add on Alika Balberti, their number 2 hitter, due up.
But for JJ, I mean, even seeing him at Club Trinidad around Palm Springs, he's always got a smile on his face. He brings a joy to the ballpark. He brings a joy to that clubhouse, and that joy is carried over to the postseason. And I think it means a lot to this team that they get to play for a guy like this, and they're gonna, want to win a championship for a coach that wants nothing but success for them.
Justice Johnson moves to scoring position on the wild pitch from Chase Ford. We know that Zach Novis has a few pitchers available, so it's going to be interesting to see how much rope Ford has here in the top of 6. Don't see anyone warming up just yet for the North Stars. And the Blue Sox, they have a secret weapon. They've got a few levers they can pull in this game. But word on the street is that they have Connor Crawford available to pitch for them. 1-1. And Crawford is from the Haymakers, and he had a 1.13 ERA on the season. He was dominant, pitched 1 total inning against the Chill in the first round of these playoffs. And I think it kind of worked out well for the Blue Sox that they were not able to get a pitcher from the Bombers to pitch for them, because that kind of allowed them to scan the rest of the league and think, all right, who do we want? And all of a sudden they get one of the best pitchers in the league. So we'll see when we see him. In the meantime, it's Carlos Guzman for the Blue Sox. Chase Ford still out there for the North Stars.
I think we'll see him sooner than expected as he's warming up in the bullpen right now.
1-1 high, 2-1. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if you saw that or not, but that's great sequencing by you, man.
Well, it's a great way to phrase it because I screwed up. If I could have just seen him, I could have made it all flow a little better. But sure, we'll call it a prediction when it didn't have to be.
Spoken into fruition, we'll say that.
2-1 pitch to Balberti. Throw down to first. It might have a play, but the throw is high, and Johnson's back safely.
Yeah, I didn't see him until you started talking about him, so. But we'll give you the point on that one.
Thank you. Hitters count for Balberti, the extra hitter. Drew a walk in the 4th inning, came around to score on the Samuel Arredondo triple.
In a lefty-lefty matchup here, the last thing you want to do is walk him again and bring up a dangerous righty bat in Arredondo.
And it's a 5-pitch walk to Alika. So it's the exact same situation as we saw in the 4th inning. Justice Johnson, leadoff base hit, Alika Balberti walk. And when Samuel Arredondo was up in this spot, he hit a triple to tie up this game. Now another chance with 2 men on.
And I'm coming around to score on that triple. And he was go-ahead run, and now we will see meeting on the mound, and we'll see if it's just pep talk here and no one getting loose. Gotta imagine that's all it's gotta be.
That's Zach Novis, pitching coach at St. Mary's College, California for 2 years, also pitched for them for 2 years. He knows pitching about as well as anyone. His team's 2nd in the league overall behind Sam DiMattio's unit. But when it comes to playoffs, it's going to come down to what your guys are going to give you in those kind of moments. And it is zero doubt the North Stars have gotten the best pitching in the postseason so far, giving up 2 total runs. But like the Blue Sox seem to do, they seem to manufacture ways to scores and reverse the trend, seemingly for no reason whatsoever. And they've got 3 runs in the 4th inning. And that's already more runs than the North Stars allowed all playoffs.
Well, it's been a clash of polar opposites. On one end, it's been a lot of runs all season long, especially in the postseason. It's been winning games by your offense. And on the other end, it's been winning games by your defense, winning games by your pitching in low-scoring affairs. So it's a matter of who gets it done more and what brand of baseball is going to win today.
Samuel Arredondo tripled last time up to tie up this game.
Typically say defense wins championships.
First pitch from Ford.
And we'll see if that's the case today. Right now it's the offense breaking through for the Blue Sox right now.
The Blue Sox scored the 3rd most runs all season. Skied foul, 1-1. Nice pitch from Ford at the bottom with the fastball. Or in fact, I think that might be a slider. Ford has delivered. He just had the misfortune of taking on a buzzsaw of a lineup. Runners at first and second. Nobody out in the inning. And a check back on Justice Johnson. He's safe.
Starting to see some rumblings in the North Star pen. That's Connor Grimes getting loose.
We saw a cameo appearance from Grimes as a pinch runner earlier on in this game. High fly ball to left field, but hit right at Cash Sutton in left field for a big out. It was 103 off the bat from Arredondo. Could not have hit it in a worse spot.
Yeah, he's been hitting the ball hard all day. Just an unfortunate result, and a fortunate result on the base paths for Justice Johnson that throw got away. He thought that ball was dropping, got a little bit too far off second, and almost got hung out to dry.
And if Arredondo, as you go back to the dugout, there's nothing else he really could have done there. Hit it literally as hard as he possibly can. I wonder if that makes him more or less frustrated. Isaac Imamura now, runners at first and second. Same spot for him, but now one down.
Fortunately for him, it was only the first out of the inning, so you got to keep your head held high.
On the ground to short. Sliding play from Peyton. Can he make the throw to first? He can. It's in time, 2 down.
And this is why Peyton was an all-star in the PSCL and represented the North Stars in that all-star game, is his tremendous play defensively all season long. He has probably been the best defensive shortstop across the league, and he's showing why here in the championship game. Has made a couple of web gems so far.
Michael Salzer has played in all 20 games, 21 hits, second most on the team.
This guy that's due 0 for 2 in the ballgame, a double play earlier, and he wants to make up for that drastically.
Johnson at third, Belberti at second. Chase Ford 1 out away from escaping the jam. Roped into center field. Pieri is there, and the inning is over. So Justice Johnson, the leadoff base hit. Belberti walks. And despite 2 hard-hit line drives, Chase Ford miraculously escapes the inning, and it stays a 1-run game. The North Stars, led by Cash Sutton, will get another It's the bottom of the 6th here in historic Palm Springs Stadium. The North Stars are down 2-3, obviously unhappy to mean a deficit, but probably thrilled it's only 1 after last inning. The Blue Sox had runners on first and second. Samuel Arredondo, 103 off the bat, line out to left. Michael Salzer with 2 outs, 98 straight ahead, but a line out to center. And the first pitch to Cash Sutton, taken for a strike.
Sutton looking to be leadoff guy here and cashing on the opportunity. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
Carlos Guzman still on the hill, trying to punch out Sutton for the 3rd time today. And Sutton had a season high of 5 total strikeouts coming into this game. He pitched for the Lumberjacks, but after the North Stars beat the Lumberjacks, Guzman was, I guess, selected to pitch in the championship game for the team that beat him. 1-2. And he has absolutely shoved so far. He has allowed 2 runs, but in the strikeout department, he has been absolutely lethal. 8 on the day.
The decision has paid dividends for JJ, and he's hoping for yet another strikeout here. And 1-2 likely going for a slider.
You called it. That was the slider. broke away from Cash Sutton, stayed patient.
Guy who's struck out twice today, but also had 6 RBIs in the quarterfinals. So
On the ground to third. Imamura, long throw across on the hop, and Arredondo completes the play. And Arredondo, that might be one of the sneaky best parts of his skill sets. He's gotten some throws that have gone awry over the course of the season. Defense has been the big thing the Blue Sox have struggled with. 30 unearned runs on the season, second in the PSCL. And they always seem to come in the worst possible spots as well for JJ's squad. And there's bases loaded, 2 outs against the Lumberjacks, bottom of the 7th. Ground ball to short, and it was a tough hop for Samuel Arredondo. He handled it to end the game. Jackson Logston swings big and comes up empty on the first pitch from Guzman. And if that throw gets away from Arredondo, if he can't complete that pick, I mean, the season is likely over for the Blue Sox.
well, knock on wood here, we've seen a flawless game defensively from both sides here. And it's been the Blue Sox who have really cleaned things up defensively, hence why they're in the position they are now.
Logston down 0-2. 86 miles an hour just off the plate.
It's a North Star team who's out hitting the Blue Sox, but Blue Sox has just been able to cash in on their opportunities a little bit more.
Got him. 9th strikeout of the day for Carlos Guzman. Jackson Logston goes down, 2 out in the inning.
Fastball, slider, curveball mix, and that slider has been probably the best pitch for Guzman all day. His fastball has been blowing by hitters all day long, but that slider has just been the most deceptive pitch in keeping hitters really off balance.
Pieri comes up empty. First pitch, 85 down the middle. And the North Stars known for their defense, but they lead the league in walks. And a big reason for that is they got the number 1 walk drawer in the league in Dion Cesario-Scott, and the number 2 walk man in Giovanni Pieri, who's down 0-2.
Seen a couple of free passes today, but nothing that's been too detrimental, but only free passes have been for the Blue Sox, nothing for the North Stars yet in terms of the walk category.
Close, but the at-bat stays alive.
And this is what's been really good about Guzman is even his misses have been close. He's been attacking the strike zone, getting ahead in counts, 4, 5, 6 pitch at-bats max. Looking for the slider here on the outer half.
Count even at 2. Nice take from Pieri.
Oh, he went.
Oh, wow, they're going to say he got him. It seemed like he came up empty, but thank you very much, Sam. And that's his 2nd strikeout of the inning for Carlos Guzman. He's up to double digits overall. But I want to keep it right here for just a minute. Blue Sox order getting ready to bat. But it's something that both Sam and Casey talk about. They want to add an additional reflection point to, is that for a lot of these guys, they're collegiate players, right? A few high school guys as well. Either way, their season ends right around the end of May, would you say? Maybe started June. And I'm sure for parents.
Start at June if you get lucky.
Exactly. For the college players, I mean, they all have parents. They have families. You don't see your kids as much when they're off playing baseball at the collegiate level. And finally, their college season is done. And then they go to Palm Springs to play for another month. So for the parents who are willing to allow their kids to embrace their baseball careers, even at the parents' own expense of not seeing their children over the summer, I mean, it's just so much credit to the guardians who help these kids be in this league. I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir. I know a lot of parents are here, but I want to give my sincerest thank you because it's been a real privilege being here in Palm Springs. It's my last day on the job here. My flight leaves in a few days, but this is the last time that I'm officially on the clock. So the fact that this league can happen, yes, it's cool the infrastructure is in place, but it doesn't matter what kind of opportunities are available if nobody decides to take that leap and come out to Palm Springs. It's a big investment to make, but you have made it, and I have had a blast watching your children play the beautiful game.
Oh, it's been, absolutely incredible. And the parents that have been able to come out here, whether it's been foreignly, domestically, I mean, the amount of parents that I've met that have come from different countries, different states, the amount of miles they travel to see their kids, it's something that's really inspiring. And I appreciate all the interactions that I've had with parents, being able to connect with these people, get a greater understanding of not just who these players are as baseball players, but as human beings as well, and getting to learn the beauty of this grind, the beauty of the game, and where everyone comes from, and just how baseball is played in different parts of the world. It's nothing that, you see in many other collegiate summer leagues, because it's a lot of guys that are coming just, from domestic parts of the country, from different parts of the country. But here in the PSCL, you see different parts of the world, different cultures coming together to play the beautiful game of baseball.
It's Ryden Sasaki leading things off for the Blue Sox here in the top of 7. 3 innings left in the PSCL season, and what a conclusion we've had so far. The Blue Sox, who have beaten the 2 seed and the 1 seed to reach this point, despite coming in as the 7 seed, have the lead over the 3 seed North Stars. Ryden Sasaki leading things off, a .394 hitter, 1.127 OPS. That's top 15 in the league, yet third on his own team. The Blue Sox have had the firepower, but it's been the defense and the pitching that have helped them reach this point. Roped in the air into left field, falling fast and down for a base hit. Sasaki makes the turn from first. He is on his way to second, and he is in there standing up for a leadoff double.
Sasaki's reign of terror continues to commence. He has had a great season, but an even better postseason. Part of the reason why the Blue Sox are even in this position to begin with has been Sasaki's play throughout the postseason and continuing to add on to an illustrious postseason with a huge leadoff double.
And now it's Declan Rivero, the designated hitter, the selection from the 9 seed Bootleggers. The Blue Sox had a chance to really break this game open last inning. First to reach, Samuel Arredondo came up as the 3 hitter. 103 off the bat line out, and after an Isaac Imamura ground out, 98 dead ahead was hit straight at Giovanni Pieri, the center fielder, off the bat from Michael Salzer. But now the Blue Sox wanting to get greedy here. They know that no lead is safe against the North Stars.
No lead is safe for either side in the PSCL. That was proven evident yesterday. So if you can continue to tack on as much as possible. Not a pitching change being made yet. They're going to continue to leave forward out there and try and attack a really tough hitter in Rivera. Sasaki, who's got a pinch runner now on, has 5 RBIs and 2 runs this postseason, and what is now the 3rd game of the postseason for him.
First pitch low to Declan Rivero. Ashmine is the pinch runner. I believe it's second.
It is, and if the run, that will get credited to Sasaki if it comes around, could be the most vital of the season yet for the Blue Sox, a massive insurance run standing in scoring position.
Inside 2-0, gets away, runner stays put. I'll tell you what, I think that's a number 6 on the back of Julius Guanillo at second base. He's played in 14 games, hasn't had too many opportunities with the bat in the postseason, but he's a speedy guy, has stolen 2 bases on the year, is yet to be caught stealing, and now here's his chance in the championship game. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
2-0, you're thinking fastball right there, and you get a changeup instead. Good idea by Ford, and a just rough chase from Rivero. But to build on your point of the runner there in Guanino, there's no reason to try and steal third base unless, the ball gets away and you absolutely have third base 1,000%. There's even a question, a shadow of a doubt, you don't go.
2-1 from Ford. Lined into left field, and it is, oh, what a catch in left field. Cash Sutton takes one away, 1 down in the inning.
Show me the money, Cash. That's another one that he's made out in left field. A tough play. And again, nearly turning to a hard-hit ball. That's been the theme here in the last few innings for this Blue Sox team, but highway robbery in the outfield.
Damian Quintana now up. Runner still at second. Ryden Sasaki got the double. But it's the pinch runner, Julius Guanillo.
And if there's a magnet in his glove, all the hard hit balls that just keep finding him somehow in left field. But all credit to Sutton, he's making the plays.
Quintana 0 for 2 on the day. On the ground to third. Runner stays put at second. Logston to first in time. And it'll be up to Grayson Hasbrook to try and drive in Guanillo.
And all of a sudden, 2 pitches later, and it comes down to Grayson Hasbrook to try and salvage the inning. After a leadoff double, this is a run you have to have, and if you can't get it, I feel like when you go into the stretch, momentum is all North Stars.
He's a .308 hitter on the year. Did he hold? He did. 1-0.
Unfortunately, we will not have Stephen Buxton singing the 7th inning stretch here today, but we will have it happen here in spirit.
Almost time to stretch. 2 down. Runner on second. It was a leadoff double from Sasaki. Ford delivers the 1-0. Big swing and a miss from Hasbrook. He struck out only 6 times on the year, stayed disciplined, wanted to hit that one hard as a chance to extend this lead. 12 hits on the year, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs.
Unfortunately for the Blue Sox, hitting it hard hasn't played out well for them. He's got to put a swing on the ball that'll find some grass, hit it where they're not.
Has a 5-game hit streak coming in. 1-2.
I think that's what he was trying to do. He sees a big gap in between the 3 and 4 holes, so tries taking it the opposite way, is just a little bit tardy on it.
Hasbrook extended his hit streak to 6 last inning, had a 2-out single, but was ultimately left stranded. Ford 1 pitch away from escaping another jam. 1-2 to Hasbrook. Bouncer to third. Logs into first. And the side is retired. So it's another leadoff base hit for the Blue Sox. But again, Connor Ford dances into trouble and then dances out of it. It stays 3-2. North Stars coming up to bat. Carlos Guzman went 6 innings, 2 runs allowed as the starting pitcher for the Blue Sox, and he now hands the ball to the secret weapon for Jimmy Johnson. Connor Crawford, the ace for the Haymakers, is available in the championship game to pitch for the Blue Sox, and he has been special all year long. 15 1/3 inning pitched, 1.17 ERA. He's given up 2 earned runs on the season. And he is mostly fresh. We saw him pitch 1 inning against the Chill in the first round of the playoffs. Came in when his team was already down 11 runs. He was shelved for that game. You kind of felt like the Haymakers wanted to use him in a second or championship game if they got that opportunity. And, well, I guess Crawford is pitching in the championship, but it's with a different uniform. Misael Ruan Leba, the designated hitter for the North Stars, leads things off. First pitch from Crawford. Just off the plate, 88 miles an hour. Crawford played with his brother Tyler on the Haymakers. Tyler's a pitcher for the Palm Springs Power. Might see him tonight. 1-0 up high, swing and a miss, 86.
Both those guys have the versatility of being bats as well, but where they truly excel is on the bump.
Rual Leba, 2 for 2 on the day, pair of singles. 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth. And it's 1-2. Got the bottom of the zone. And this really couldn't have gone any better for JJ. He gets Guzman all the way through 6th innings. And now Crawford, you wonder if you might see him for all 9 outs. 1-2 pitch. Outside 2-2. Because if Crawford needs to be pulled, we really don't know who's available for the Blue Sox. The official scouting, or the lineup said available pitchers, everybody was the word that was listed. 2-2, wave and a miss, ball in the dirt. And they will say that they got him. No throw needed. Rual Leba goes down. First strikeout of the day for Connor Crawford.
And Leba goes down for the first time today. He's been swinging a hot bat today.
And you got to remember that Crawford likely was not available in that first game against the Chill because he wasn't feeling fully energized. He wanted to give his full 100%. Still gave him an inning at the end, and even when he wasn't at 100, he did allow 2 hits in that showing. So he's had a day off, but it's worth questioning how much he has in the tank. Ryder Lombros, big swing and a miss, 87. I guess there's your answer.
Momentum's definitely a thing, but got to preserve your arm as well. So we'll see how long the leash is, and you're hoping it can be 3 innings, but like you said, we really don't know if he can go all 3 or if there's going to be a pitch count, pitch cap, and after that, bullpen by committee.
Got him. Second straight strikeout for Connor Crawford. Welcome to the championship game.
And I think for the North Stars, I think being maybe a little too over-anxious at the plate, 13 strikeouts as a team already today, and not a single walk. So
the North Stars lead the PSCL in total strikeouts. Ironic because they also lead it in walks. Doran Rivero now batting 0 for 2.
A lot of 3 outcomes for the North Stars.
Now they got a young man managing their squad. Zach Novis's pitching core has done their job. Chase Ford delivering 7 innings, 3 runs allowed. Not bad, all things considered. Taking on a really hot postseason offense. Scored double digits the last 3 games.
And we knew Crawford was going to at some point make an appearance, but if you would have told me at the start of the game it was going to be a low-scoring affair, I would have thought likely the North Stars would have the edge just because the pitching advantage has been so prevalent for them all season long.
1-1 from Crawford. 1-2 now.
Blue Sox are a team that excel in kind of shootout ball games, high-scoring affairs, but not the case today, so we'll see how they approach the last few innings in uncharted waters.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side. 3 strikeouts for Connor Crawford. His first off-speed pitch of the day gets Doran Rivero down swinging. And here come the Blue Sox in the top of 8. It's the PSCL championship game between the number 7 seed Blue Sox and the number 3 seed North Stars. I'm Vince Hesbrick with Sam Egan, and this is the first time all year that a PSCL game has gone past the 7th inning. Of course, every game in the regular season and every other game in the playoffs has gone 7. But here we are in the top of 8. We're playing a full 9 in the championship game. That obviously works out to the North Stars' favor as they are down 2-3. But the Blue Sox bats have been blazing hot the past few innings despite coming up empty. And now Drew Ashamine, as the 10-hitter in the lineup, comes up with the top of the order looming.
And we've seen a couple games go to sudden death, but those technically don't count as innings. So the first time we see an 8th frame here. And you got to imagine all the momentum is on the Blue Sox side after Connor Crawford struck out the side, but their bats had a leadoff double and left it stranded last inning. So looking to avenge that here, and it's Drew Ashamine looking to find a way to avenge it.
And for Zach Novis, he is rolling with Chase Ford again. Ford pitched 1 complete game all season against the Bootleggers in a 13-1 win. But even then, his team won as the home team. That meant only 6 innings for Ford. And now here he is pitching in the 8th. Pop up to short. Peyton out 1. And that's a really important out for Chase Ford to get, because look who's on deck here.
Not just that, but 1 pitch, 1 out, and you get a huge first out, and you see why they're letting Ford roll with the punches, because he's been able to take them and wiggle himself out of tough situations. With the exception of that 4th inning, he's been flawless.
The top of the order has been the part that has done their damage for the Blue Sox. Justice Johnson is 2 for 3 on the day as the leadoff hitter. Steps back, stays there. Ball 1. He scored a run in the 4th. In the 6th, he got aboard, reached second on a wild pitch. Alika Balberti walked, and that was maybe the key sequence in this game. Samuel Arredondo coming up fresh off a 2-run triple. 1-0 big, swing and a miss, 1-1. Arredondo 103 off the bat to left field for a key first out. Isaac Imamura grounded out. Advanced the runners to second and third. Michael Sulzer a drive up the middle, 98 off the bat, but Giovanni Pieri got a great jump to put it away, and it stayed a 3-2 game. So the top of the order wanting some revenge. Maybe their last at-bats of the season. 1-1 pitch with the curveball up high 2-1.
It's been Daniel Vendel warming up in the bullpen for the last 2 innings, but seeing Chase Ford continuing to work out there, and gotta wonder if he gives up a base runner, if that's the leash, or I know he's got Balberti the lefty on deck, if that will be the final batter he faces.
2-1, just gets the strike zone inside. 80 miles an hour with the slider.
Got to imagine, though, you want to trust him to finish the inning, especially with the lefty up, but a base runner could be cause for a call.
Lined into left field. It is a fair ball. Johnson was pointing down to line to make sure, and he is on his way to second. It's a 3-hit game for Justice Johnson in the championship.
If there is a championship game MVP, he may have to earn the crown. Him or Arredondo both having incredible games at the plate. Arredondo having some misfortunes at the plate in terms of some hard-hit outs, but Justice Johnson, have a day. 3 hits, a stolen base, and there's the Blue Sox who got the leadoff guy on a double. The last half inning left him stranded, and Balberti looking to have a different say.
Just the second 3-hit game of the year for Justice Johnson. First pitch to Balberti, a slow roller to second. This will be going to be a tough play, but Rivero gets it. Johnson dives back into first, and here comes Samuel Arredondo.
You got to wonder if they're going to trust Ford here in the lefty-righty matchup with a righty warming up in the pen. Arredondo, who has hit the ball hard all day long.
Justice Johnson is at third with 2 outs.
103-mile-an-hour line out in his last at-bat was Arredondo. That's the same pitcher.
Fouled over our heads. Samuel Arredondo, 1 for 3 on the day. Had a game-tying triple in the 4th. That was the only inning in which the Blue Sox scored. Arredondo eventually scored on an Isaac Imamura sac fly. It was a sac fly at the track as well. Imagine if that one got over the wall. It's a whole different game. And the ball gets away. Here comes Johnson coming home, and the lead is 2. Chase Ford delivers the wild pitch. No chance for Gavin Rodriguez, the catcher for the North Stars. And Samuel Arredondo now bats with the bases empty. Johnson gets home. It is a 4-2 game.
Not only is that a massive run, but I think that can shift the complexion of the at-bat for Arredondo. He no longer really needs to be a hero, so he can freely swing a little bit and try and hit the ball hard somewhere.
Swing and a miss.
And take a big cut, he did.
67 miles an hour on the off-speed pitch.
Nice.
I just realized it's July 7th. Arredondo in a 1-2 count. Doesn't chase, 2-2. And it doesn't get much easier for Ford if Arredondo manages to reach, because Isaac Imamura is on deck.
I think Ford understanding that Arredondo's been a fastball hunter. He's given him a couple breaking balls here in the last few pitches, and Arredondo's been behind on it.
Ground ball to third. Oh, it eats up Logston. A difficult play to make, but it will go down as an E5. Samuel Arredondo is aboard. Isaac Imamura comes up with a man on 2 outs.
First error of the ball game, and at a unfortunate time correction, the second one of the ball game.
Imamura had a base hit in the second. Hit a high fly ball in the fourth. He flipped his bat, but he wound up being just out at the track. Still gave his team the lead with a sacrifice fly to bring Arredondo home. First pitch low for a ball, and now Imamura wants to try and get Arredondo home again. It would probably take something off the wall with Arredondo not being the fleetest of foot. 1-0 from Ford. Popped it up. Rodriguez. We'll watch it bounce into the seats.
Thought we might have gotten a Karam up into here for a sec.
Yeah, it's a good bounce. It might have been in there. And this is really important for the Blue Sox. They want as much insurance as possible because they will have bats in the top of 9, but it will likely be the bottom of their order unless they can get a few guys on. So for every guy that reaches this inning, not only are you trying to extend your lead, at the same time, you're going to give the top of your bats an opportunity potentially in the top of 9, but they need more aboard. 1-1. Right at the top of the zone for a called strike.
But this guy in the middle part of the order that have really been doing damage for this Blue Sox team this postseason. Sasaki, Salser have all been guys who have had some pop and produced some big-time hits this season.
Punch slowly on the ground. This will be a tough play. Rolling for Josh Payton, who makes the adjustment, and the inning is over. So a nice defensive play limits the damage, but the Blue Sox get one across. Justice Johnson, a leadoff double, made it to third on a ground out by Alika Balberti, and then a wild pitch gets him home. It's a 4-2 game, top of 8 coming up. Trophy? Okay. Connor Crawford back on the hill for the Blue Sox in his biggest inning of the season. The North Stars are down 2, and they have the top of their order coming up in the bottom of 8. Josh Payton leading things off. Vince Hesprick with Sam Egan. Glad you're with us. The Blue Sox are the 7 seed coming into the PSCL playoffs. The North Stars number 3. And the Blue Sox beat the 2 and 1 seed to reach this point. First pitch wild outside from Josh Payton. Or pardon me, Connor Crawford. And Crawford came in relief of Carlos Guzman, who delivered 6 2-run innings. And it's 2-0 now to Payton.
Payton was the last run to score for this North Stars team that came all the way back in the 3rd inning. Came around to score on a Gavin Rodriguez RBI double, so hoping to get on and get himself around.
Ground ball foul. And we were wondering how much juice Connor Crawford has. He wasn't available to pitch multiple innings in the first round of the playoffs. Had a day off yesterday. Didn't even know if he'd be pitching in the championship game as a member of the Haymakers. And struck out the first 3 guys he faced. Nice take from Payton, 3-1.
Tell you what, there's no sign of action yet in either bullpen, but especially the Blue Sox bullpen is the one towards concern.
Lined into right field, Drew Ashmine gets the first out. That's a big one as Peyton as the leadoff man in the inning. And the leadoff man in the lineup.
That's a tough out to get. Peyton's a guy who doesn't really strike out too much. He's a guy who will make a lot of contact. He's the reason why you see him at the top of the lineup. He's a big contact bat that can put almost any ball in play. And on 3-1 count, got a hitter's pitch and just missed it. Fortunate for Crawford to get a big first out right there.
And we talked about how the Blue Sox, top of their order, might have seen their last at-bats of the year. For the North Stars, it's the same. Gavin Rodriguez takes a strike from Crawford right down the middle.
Had that RBI double. The tie made it a 2-0 ball game, but also has a pair of strikeouts here today.
And he's down 1-2. It was 2 straight balls to Josh Payton, one of them wild. You kind of wondered if Crawford was, you know, how much juice is left in that arm. He's always got the heat available, but can he locate it? Ooh, and he has been lights out since then. Went with the off-speed pitch. And according to TrackMan, that just missed. Good call by the umps.
Yeah, try going with the backdoor slider right there, and maybe try and go with the front foot right here. Mix up the timing.
1-2 from Crawford. Slow roller to short. Quintana. 2 down.
Went with the low outside fastball instead and got him to roll over in Rodriguez. So 2 up, 2 down in this inning, and 5 up, 5 down so far for Crawford.
And you had to think the strategy for the North Stars was to get Dion Cesario-Scott an at-bat with a man on. And the bases are empty for Dion, but that doesn't mean he can't do his damage. Gets aboard at a 5.71 clip coming in. That's top 10 in the PSCL. But 0 for 3 today. First pitch gets the inside with the breaking ball.
How about this, Vince? 11 straight batters have been brought up and brought down for the North Stars. Haven't had a base runner since the 4th inning.
0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And the Blue Sox allowed the second most runs all year, 168 in total. And here they are in the championship game with 2 pitchers who played for other teams. And there's 2 ways that you can look at that. First, the 0-2 to Dion. Ground ball. This is going to be a tough play. But the third baseman, Isaac Imamura, makes the play. So I want to talk about this point a little bit further here, because if you're a fan of the North Stars, you're probably thinking to yourself, man, what the heck? This team, they struggled with their pitching, and here they are in the championship with 2 elite pitchers. But here's the other side of things. To get those pitchers, the Blue Sox had to beat the 2 seed and the 1 seed in order. So if there's ever a world in which you can earn to have a star pitcher on your roster, it's the Blue Sox. And on top of that, those games that they've pitched, I mean, against the Bombers, only scored 6 runs against the Blue Sox, but still, they had a lot of traffic throughout that game. The Lumberjacks scored 11 yesterday. That's just a lot of pitches from your guys as well. So it's a tricky spot for a skipper to be in. They kind of needed reinforcements. It would have been legitimately unhealthy if they had their regular guys pitch. And so if you've in this kind of situation, you need someone for another team to pitch. No one's available, and you've beaten 2 of the best teams in the league. I mean, if you're going to get a pitcher, why not be a good guy?
I mean, you've earned the right, considering you've beat the top 2 seeds in the postseason, and what a path it would be to beat the 2 seed, to beat the 1 seed, then beat the 3 seed. An absolute gauntlet for the 7 seed North Stars, who only won 7 games all season long, and they can nearly double their win total in just 3 days.
And I'm not sure if you can see it on your screen, but the trophy is officially in the building. It is behind home plate, and it's kind of a fun thing they do with it. It's very similar to the Stanley Cup. Every year the winner gets their name engraved on the trophy. Well, it's insurance time for the Blue Sox. We'll give you a quick recap. The North Stars score in the bottom of the 2nd and the bottom of the 3rd. That made it a 2-0 game, but the Blue Sox responded. Top of the order was up. Justice Johnson base hit. Alika Balberti walk. Samuel Arredondo with a 2-run triple. A sac fly got him in to give the Blue Sox the lead. North Stars came up empty in every offensive inning after that. And the Blue Sox added an insurance run in the 3rd. Justice Johnson, a leadoff double, advanced to 3rd on a ground ball, and then an E5, or a wild pitch, pardon me, got him home. It's a 4-2 game here in the bottom of the, or pardon me, is it the top of the 9th inning here?
Top of the 9th here, yes, and it's a new arm out after Chase Ford, the southpaw, went 8 innings, had a great outing, Only 4 runs allowed, so that's a quality start for him. Unfortunately, his offense hasn't given him the same support, and it's going to be up to Daniel Vendel to try and get a 0 and hope his offense can put him on pace for the win with at least putting up 2 in the bottom half, but needing 3 to win, obviously.
1 inning left in the PSCL season. Chase Ford delivered 7 innings for the 3-seed North Stars, and he hands the ball to Daniel Vendel. Vendel comes in with a 4.85 ERA. He's pitched 13 innings, allowed 7 earned runs, 15 walks, 17 strikeouts. And here's the first pitch to the cleanup hitter, Isaac Imamura, leading off the top of 9.
And there is a complete contrast of outings for starters. Carlos Guzman went 6 innings, 11 strikeouts. Meanwhile, on the other end, Chase Ford, 8 innings and only 2 punches.
It would be the ultimate Cinderella story for the Blue Sox. They've beaten the 2-seed and the 1-seed. They lead over the 3-seed in the championship. Imamura dumps it into right field for a base hit. Another leadoff runner aboard for the Blue Sox. Every run they get is precious insurance. Michael Salzer, the second baseman, now up with a man on. It was 89 miles an hour low and away. Tough pitch to hit, but Isaac Imamura hitting .370 coming in. Able to get it 90 off the bat and drill it through the infield for a base hit.
And now socking his last at bat.
Salzer puts down a bunt. Nobody's covering first. He is safe. Vendel slipped as he came off the bag. Perfectly placed by Salzer. Dion Cesario. Scott had to come over. And everybody's safe. Nobody out.
Flawlessly executed bunt. And that was actually Skylar Stock, a pinch hitter, who came on and laid down the bunt. Executed perfectly. What a spot to come into and what execution, Skylar Stock. That's incredibly valuable to have a catcher who can lay down a bunt like that. Any baseball player who can lay down a bunt like that. A rare art, and seeing some small ball from old school. Old school giving it to new school. Nice execution, Jimmy Johnson.
Vendel's first pitch is driven in the air, deep center field. But Pieri makes an incredible catch to track that one down. Didn't have to dive, but it's because of how great of a jump he got. So Skylar Stock put down the bunt. Hitting .167 on the year, comes into the championship game in the 9th inning and delivers a picturesque bunt. And the very next pitch, I believe that was Declan Rivero, who hit it hard and deep.
But I feel like, to circle back there, Salzer at second base, I feel like he's got to stay at the bag, and with the fly ball that deep, you shouldn't be able to tag for third base. Instead, you stay at second base, and instead of having the, although it would make it a 3-run game, a huge insurance run, nevertheless, 90 feet away instead of 180. We'll see if that comes back to bite the Blue Sox.
Damian Quintana, the shortstop, batting with 1 man on, 1 out. 1-1.
So after a little piece of old school, a small ball bunt from Skylar Stock seemed to completely shift the momentum. A big fly ball out, and no one moved anywhere.
Skylar Stock is at first, and that is Michael Salzer at second base. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss from Quintana.
Uncharacteristic swing from Quintana right there. An uncharacteristic day from him overall. Quintana had 3 hits in yesterday's ball game. He's a guy who just sees the ball well and makes a lot of good contact.
He had 10 hits in the year over his first 18 games, 1 multi-hit game before that 3 hit yesterday. Great on base ability, 407. Swing and a miss. Daniel Vendel gets the strikeout. He allowed 2 straight base runners to reach, base hit and then a bunt that he was not able to cover first on. Slipped a little bit off the mound. But an L8 and a strikeout means that here is Grayson Hasbrook in the biggest spot of the season.
Looking for Hasbrook to come up clutch, so not tagging doesn't eventually come back to bite the Blue Sox, at least as of yet.
Opened up with a strike on the outside, 88 miles an hour from Daniel Vendel. Zach Novus really has managed this game very well for the North Stars. He pitched Chase Ford as much as he could, got some length from him. And now here's Vendel with 2 down in the top of 9. Look over at second. Anything in the outfield, and the Blue Sox will increase their lead to 3.
Asbrook, who coming in today was hitting .500 in the postseason, 3 for 6. Obviously a very small sample size, but hoping a hot bat can stay hot. Although he's 0 for 2 today, he's due in no bigger time than right now in the 9th.
And Vendel buckled him, 73. Ton of break on that slider. His team's going to need 2 runs in the 9th to win it. But they want to hope it stays at 2 or 2 runs to tie it. 0-2 pitch. Outside. Great stop by Gavin Rodriguez to keep the runners at first and second.
I was just going to say, tremendous stop by Rodriguez right there. If that one gets away, that can shift the complexion of the at-bat and maybe eliminates trying to even attack the lower portion of the zone because you don't want to risk another one.
High fly ball out to right field. And it will hang up for Ryder Lombros. We are headed to the bottom of 9 in the PSCL Championship. The North Stars need 2 runs to tie it. Cash Sutton, Jackson Logston, Giovanni Pieri. It'll be up to them to save the season. It's the bottom of the 9th in the PSCL Championship game. Jimmy Johnson, 7-seed Blue Sox, hoping to complete the ultimate Cinderella story against the number 3 seed North Stars. It is Connor Crawford on the mound for the Sox. He has retired 6 straight since entering the game. The North Stars have gone down 12 straight. Here is Cash Sutton trying to buck the trend, leading off the inning, takes a ball.
This part of the lineup, 4, 5, 6, combined 1 for 9, but the lone one, a big one, a inside the park home run from Jackson Logston all the way back in the 2nd inning.
Fouled into the netting, 1-1. Crawford continuing to deal heat, 85 with some movement.
Sutton, a guy who's been clutch in the postseason before, a 6 RBI performance in the quarterfinal, and all you need here is a base hit to get on and have the rest of the lineup pick you up.
2-1. In the last game of the regular season in the first round of the playoffs, Cash Sutton, 6 for 7, 2 homers, 5 runs, 11 RBIs, and a walk, but has not had a hit since then. 0 for 3 against the Chill, 0 for 3 today. Bouncer up the middle, this will be a tough play. Salter, the glove, throws back to first, not in time, and the leadoff man's aboard.
Tying run coming to the plate, Vince. This is going to be a game. It's been a pitcher's duel from start to finish, and Connor Crawford, who's been the league's best all season long, is forced into the biggest situation of the season.
Jackson Logston due up now for the North Stars. In his first at-bat in the second, he hit an inside-the-park home run. High fly ball to center field. Justice Johnson couldn't read it. Ball gets away. Nice stop from Ryden Sasaki.
Good read there by Cash Sutton as well. A lot of guys will see the ball get away from the catcher and want to take off initially, but knowing how valuable your run is, unless you know for sure that ball is completely away from the catcher, and there's no chance of you getting thrown out. No reason to go.
Throw back to first, he's safe. And I'll tell you what, this is a pinch hitter.
On deck.
On deck for the North Stars. Jovan Bernard is on deck for the North Stars. 2-0 in the meantime to Logsdon. Logsdon homered yesterday to give his team a 2-0 lead in the top of 4. That was his first home run of the season. And it's 2-1. Logsdon struck out in the 6th, flew out in the 4th. The Blue Sox have one of the league's best on the hill as a hired gun. Connor Crawford, the 2-1. 3-1 now, just outside, couldn't get the call with 87.
If you're Crawford, a fastball situation here, and you got to execute.
Count runs full.
Arguably the biggest payoff pitch across the PSCL this season, and Connor Crawford, who's been able to bring swing and miss stuff all season long, does he have it here in the top of the 9th, or the bottom of the 9th?
Low and inside, Logsdon reaches, and the championship winning run is at the plate.
Here we go. Tying run is now standing at first base, and with nobody out. What scenes here at Palm Springs Stadium. A championship to be cited in the bottom of the 9th.
And it will be Giovanni Pieri to bat for the North Stars. First pitch, in there for a strike.
Center fielder 0 for 3 in the ball game with a pair of strikeouts.
Wonder if we could see a bunt here.
I like the idea, Vince.
Second pitch low, 1-1.
Especially with Misa Leba standing in the on-deck circle 2 for 3 today. I think the bunt is the correct choice. Corners are in.
Inside 2-1.
Still no sign of showing bunt, but with Crawford struggling with command right now, they're going to just force a visit to the mound. Jimmy Johnson heading out there. He's taking a peek at his bullpen, but I think right now it's just going to be a pep talk for Crawford to give him a moment to breathe.
And we saw a similar sequence like this in the last game against the Lumberjacks. Declan Rivera was on the mound in the bottom of the 7th with his team holding a 3-run lead. And he went walk, hit by pitch, walk, and JJ came out to talk to him. Very next guy walked him again. Suddenly it's a 2-run game, nobody out, winning run is aboard. And you got to give Rivera credit. He went 1-2-3 after that and escaped the jam. And a similar spot now for Connor Crawford. His team leads by 2, but the championship winning run is at the plate. Pieri, the 6-hitter. Misael Ruan Leba on deck. Ryder Lombros, the 8-hitter in the hole. And it's 3-1 now.
Pressure is mounting on the mound.
Just up high. It's a 5-pitch walk. The bases are loaded. Nobody is out. The tying run is at second, and the championship winning run is aboard.
So how about this, Vince? In the first 8 innings, the North Stars didn't have a single walk. And now back-to-back walks are the tying and go-ahead runs.
Leba up the middle. It's down for a base hit. Sutton will score. Logsdon on his way home from third, and he will head back to third. They might have him picked off, and the throw gets away. Logsdon coming home. He is safe. They're going to send home Pieri to win the championship. Safe. Game over. Season over. The North Stars are your PSCL champions. Soak in the moment, Misael Ruan-Leba. You have earned it. An RBI and a tragic error wins it for the North Stars. And for Zach Novus, he wins his second PSCL crown. Did it in 21. He does it again in 26. A squad built on pitching and discipline. They held their fundamentals till the end, and the North Stars, who had such great defense right until the bottom of the ninth with a 2-run lead, it goes awry at the worst possible time, and the season is now over.
Heartbreak at the end. You were 3 outs away from the championship. The pitching has been flawless. Connor Crawford's been flawless all year long and may have extended his leash a little too long. But to circle back, just talked about how the walks were the tying and go-ahead runs. That was something that was a factor. After no walks all game long as the trophy gets lifted, 2 walks in the ninth were the deciding factor, and the other deciding factor, not a single error until the last play of the game for the Blue Sox, and there was the errors that had killed them all season long that eventually ended their season.
And for Connor Crawford, it will undoubtedly sting. 15 1/3 inning on the season. He allowed 2 total earned runs. He allowed 3 in the bottom of the ninth in the championship game. But you got to give so much credit to the North Stars. The Blue Sox had a hired gun, one of the best in the league, to close out the game. He retired the first 6 in order, but a Cash Sutton leadoff hit combined with a Jackson Logston and Giovanni Pieri walks meant that Misael Ruan-Leba came up with the bases loaded, nobody out, a single up the middle, scored Sutton, and they thought they had Logston picked off at third, but the throw gets away, 2-run score, and that is how the season ends for the North Stars. It's going to hurt for them, but hopefully when they look back at this season, they don't remember the bottom of the ninth, and they remember the many innings in the playoffs that came before. Those were playoff innings where they came up big and stunned both the number 2 and number 1 seed. But with a 2-run lead in the bottom of the ninth, their defense is tested one more time, and they fell through. And it is the North Stars who win it 5-4. It's been a privilege to follow this league this season. It has been a blast being in Palm Springs. I'm Vince Hesprick. Thank you so much, parents, for putting up with all that we do. It's been a privilege to help you and help your children. And this really was a special experience overall. And although the experience was very special for me, I'm sure it's only a fraction of that for the North Stars, who win it in walk-off fashion 5-4. For the last time in Palm Springs, I'm Vince Hesprick. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day.